So channeling itself is a lot more common than people think, and people are often in a channeling state unintentionally. That energy when you feel like you are in the zone, where you just can do it, where it just happens, it just comes through, it just manifested, that is often a channeled state. So many are actually already channeling, and everyone has access to it. Yet, there is a way to also intentionally tap yourself into a channeled state so that you can receive information, guidance, abilities, creativity beyond your present state. So, not just when you happen to be in the zone, but intentionally attuning yourself to a space to where you can receive. And again, you can channel to inspire creativity, to access abilities of your own that perhaps are dormant, or again, information, psychic guidance, things in the future. The channeling state itself is beyond this realm and this reality. Therefore, it holds access to information beyond this current time and space. So before you start to actually tap in and attune yourself to a space to where you start channeling, this is like the most necessary key component to channeling, and that is the preparation. And not in the sense where you necessarily have to do a bunch of things, but in order to access specific information, realities, and states of creativity, a certain frequency is required of pureness, of wholeness. And so with that, it is necessary to prepare yourself by doing shadow work, by identifying, connecting to, and stripping the layers that are not actually you, that were created perhaps as protection mechanisms and are now wounds and inhibiting you from fully accessing and embodying your full potential. In order to channel, it is necessary to have identified and harmonized, created a healthy relationship with the shadow aspects of your being, with your ego. With this, when you create a harmony and you create space for and listen to and allow for the full message and medicine to be received from your shadow aspects, the lower versions of yourself, and from the imbalanced or distorted ego, if you give time and space and attention and love to those spaces, then they will feel seen and heard in their own space, in their own place, and not need to come into the space where you're wanting to channel with distractions like judgments or beliefs or doubts that are limiting and inhibiting you from, again, purifying yourself, accessing your sacred channel, your sovereign channel, beyond all of the ego and shadow distortions and projections, so that you can, again, access information beyond this human realm. And if you haven't already seen my video on shadow work, definitely go check that out, because I explain how to dive in and actually do shadow work more in depth and detail. But essentially, it is necessary to make peace with your shadow and your ego so that they don't bombard and overlap your channeling space. Because it is necessary to be unbiased, to be beyond the personality, the shadow, the human, and the ego in order to access the pureness of the information, the higher truth, perhaps beyond a personal belief or perception or projection onto something, where perhaps things that have been experienced in which have created certain beliefs and identifications and connotations with certain judgments about people or ideas or questions or words even beyond that space, to where you come to a clear slate, again, beyond the personality, beyond the ego, where you are fully source, you are spirit, you are pure essence, divinity, you are truth, and there is no distortion present. And with that, identify any limiting beliefs you may have about you actually being able to access this state of consciousness, the channeling state. Again, everyone can channel, and many already are. So there is a way to intentionally tap into this space. You may already be doing it in other spaces. It is just like a muscle. The psychic channeling state is like a muscle where when you strengthen it, when you practice, you will see in tangible reality that it is strong, that it is clear, and it is present, and it is real, and it is beyond any doubt. So do your best to tap into that reality, knowing intuitively within your soul that it is possible and that you are able to do it, and you will. And so, after you have done the inner work, the shadow work, we are ready to begin tapping into the channeling state. And of course, with this, I just want to mention, you may be rerouted and redirected to do more healing and see more layers that you can strip and free yourself, liberate yourself from as you continue to tap into the channeling state and open up. That is because this channeled energy, your pure state, you connecting to you, hearing the truth of you and what you come from, is a purification. It is a full energetic upgrade as you channel, as you tap into this space. So know that and trust it. All right, let's begin. So the first step to start to channel is to clarify your intention. Declare and devote to your energetic field being at a certain state and frequency, setting the intention for the space to be only that which is of the highest frequency, intention, resonance, and essence. Saying something out loud so that you can actually hear yourself and you are vibrating it into your reality through your voice, what you are declaring. I only receive information of that which is of the highest frequency and resonance and intention. Only that which is helpful and beneficial comes through in this space. I am a conduit. I am a channel of light. I am pure source creativity, divine essence, and wisdom. I am divine intelligence. Saying something and perhaps many things to yourself to shift your state, to allow yourself to adjust and adapt to the reality in which is true, where you are those things. And again, as you set this frequency into your reality, physically, energetically, spiritually, there is no question or possibility of you picking up a lower frequency energy, because you have intentionally attuned to this space, to channel from and receive information and energy from this space, where anything lower literally doesn't exist here. So know that, and as you set your intention and set your energy and your field, that is the reality. So no distractions or energies of question will even come into this space, because you are the one who decides. You are the one who declares it. So do so. The second step is to get into a meditative state. Now, this may be through breath work or through consciously clearing your thoughts and perhaps putting yourself in some form of trance. It's kind of like a self-hypnosis where you become really aware of your breathing, your body, you set your energy and your field. You are essentially connecting more to yourself and becoming more present so you can let go even more, so that you can allow for spirit and source to come through you and to be so present and also sensitive in the sense where you are sensing spirit come through you, so that you can acknowledge and respond to and listen to and again channel this energy and essence. And personally at this point, I like to do what I call clear the slate, where I go to a space where there's absolutely nothing and yet everything. Because there's nothing, it is infinite, it is vast. There is also access to, again, everything, where I place myself in that space, and when I am asked certain questions or I'm asking certain questions, it allows for the answers to just appear. Literally just to appear within the space, and there is no distortion of anything else around it, influences, projections. It's it in its wholeness, its essence. It's just it. It just is. That is it. And in that space, I have been able to bring through psychic information like names, dates, times of certain things where it's like, how could you have known that? And it's like, I didn't even necessarily know that. It just came through. And that is the channeled space. And in order to do that, I clear the slate, where I go to a space and there's nothing, and yet all of a sudden it is like 3:12, and it's like, March 12th? That's when? Okay, there's the information. Just allow it to be. Don't question it, judge it. Well, she said that it wasn't supposed to, or that's really soon, or that it's like, no. I am just transmitting the information in its purity and its wholeness and its true divine essence, the way that it's appearing beyond what anything that my human could think or project. And the third thing is to bring awareness to your psychic senses. Start to explore how you are receiving information. Perhaps you are starting to feel certain things, and you are clairsentient, where you can feel energies and it makes you feel a certain way, and that's how you know. Maybe you are claircognizant, where you just have a knowing. It's not even about feeling or thinking or hearing or you know. You just know, and that is how the information channels through you. Maybe you are clairaudient, where you can actually hear things and sounds and voices and responses come through audibly. Maybe you see things. Whatever it is, start to explore. Perhaps it changes, perhaps it's different, often it will evolve, but start to explore what sense is being activated within you as you are within this space. And with that, as you are feeling called to open up and channel, you may feel called to start writing, and perhaps it's that you want to channel through writing, or maybe you want to start talking, speaking, just saying these things, or singing, or dancing. And if you are familiar with my content, then you know I channel light language through my music, for healings, for activations, and for me personally, I will often channel light language prior to channeling information in English, where light language activates this energy and this connection to my higher self and allows me to embody it and also have the confidence to express it, to share it, and to know it. And that energy is fully felt through the light language transmission. And by the way, if you're interested in activating your own light language, I have created a light language activation course, and I take you through with multiple videos and how-tos to activate your own light language. And I also have an interactive video in there where we can speak it back and forth to each other, which is, I think it's pretty cool. It feels pretty cool. And light language has served as such a tool for me in the channeling space, and then also in other parts of my reality as well. So if you feel called to that, definitely check it out. I will also put the link in the description. But so yes, do what you feel called to do in terms of how you feel called to channel the energy, especially initially, because you may be being guided through a certain series of initiations or energies or actions in order to fully access and open up your channel to where it's psychic information or wisdom or creativity, that which you are intending for to come through. And the fourth thing to channeling information is to actually start channeling the psychic information. So once you have done all the previous things and you are fully in this connected space, and if you are alone, then start to ask yourself questions, where you allow for your human self to become present and yet not fully connected to the experience, where you are able to ask questions, but it's like you are asking your higher self. And you are also connected to and bridging those realms where you are able to bring through the information from your higher self. So you can start by asking yourself questions like, what is my purpose right now? And allow for the information to come through, not seeking it, not looking for the answers, not reaching, what is the answer? Clear slate. Allow for it to just appear. Perhaps it is an image, it is a word, again, it is a sound, or you just know, or it is a feeling. It will come through, and just sit with it. Just be with it. Be present. And you can even ask questions to yourself like, what is my relationship with this person on a higher level? Am I meant to be with this person? Or is this job actually best for me? Or do I have to let go of this? Or what is my destiny in this situation? You can truly bring through answers that are tangible, potent, and again, proven in your reality to the point where it's like, oh, okay, now I can never question it or doubt it because it really, truly, actually is. And if you are with someone and going into the channeling space, have them ask you questions once you are in your trance. And now there's an energy dynamic with this situation where when you are in a channeled meditative space and being just asked questions, where if you are not distracted, you can literally just access and bring through the information. Because again, we are all able to channel and to access this space of information. And even just the energy of taking that role of answering a question, of allowing yourself to know beyond this realm, it puts you in that space. And overall, practice. Like I said, it is totally like a muscle where the more you practice, the more you'll strengthen it, the more you will be able to access this space and bring through tangible psychic information that is like, how did that even happen? Where you will surprise yourself and you'll even get to know yourself even better. And there are also different ways to channel. You may channel just as your human self. Your voice may not change. Your cadence, your rhythm, it may just be normal, perhaps just a little more calm and present and connected. Or you may come out with a full-blown accent that you've never had, at least in this life, and a full energy and an essence from a connection of the higher realms, divine light, which is also very normal in the channeling space. Because as we get away from our human personalities and allow for an energy that is infinite, that is higher source wisdom and intelligence beyond us to come through, often they will have different energies and attributes than our current physical being in essence. And it's actually really normal, where there are many channelers, for example, Bashar, who, when he channels, it is a completely different energy that is felt, that is heard, that is experienced when he is channeling. So also get comfortable with and explore yourself in this space where maybe you do bring through an essence and energy from a different time, a different planet, a different reality entirely. Because again, that's where the information is coming from. And with this being a completely different state of consciousness when you are channeling, you also sometimes may not even remember the information that comes through. Where you channel for someone, and though you are present, and though you are experiencing and perhaps talking the whole time, you may not even remember what has come through for them because it was a message for them. You will remember what you are meant to remember. And of course, if you intentionally try to remember, of course you will. You have access to it always. But sometimes that information is not even necessary for you, but perhaps who you are channeling for. For example, I had a client a few years ago who had been trying to get pregnant with her husband for about 4 years and didn't understand what it was. And we did a bunch of womb work and a bunch of healing. And with that, in a channeled state, I brought through that she would be having a baby. She would be pregnant by this certain month. And that month that came through was just a few months away, and here she's thinking, well, it's been multiple years that I've been trying to get pregnant actively, and it hasn't worked. What do you mean in a few months I'm going to be pregnant? And that information came through, we completed our mentorship, and then she went along her journey. I ended up completely forgetting that I had channeled that information, and I'm actually glad that I did, where I wasn't constantly thinking about it like, oh, I wonder, is she gonna get pregnant? Is this gonna happen? Is this gonna happen? I just sent her love, of course, and continued to send her love, but wasn't focused on any specific realities for her, and just wasn't meant to remember it myself. And then she came back a year later and was like, hey Heather, I just want to let you know you channeled for me that I would be pregnant by this certain month and have a baby, and I just want to let you know the baby's really healthy and thank you. And it was just like, pring, all of it came back, the exact channeling and information where I was like, wow, okay, beautiful, perfect, sending it love. And though it was a very powerful experience and very motivating and confirming, and again did reroute and come back to me, it wasn't necessary for me to remember during the time of the experience. Because again, we do not channel information, seek answers so that we can hold on to them, so that we can have power, so that we can know the future. Nope. It's for assistance, it's for divinity, it's for alignment, it's so people can relax, it's so we can relax and be reminded of who and what we truly are, so that we can access certain states, bring through creative projects, certain things that inspire, motivate, help, uplift others. That is our purpose with channeling, and with that, it is so. So yes, try these 4 steps out, and I'm curious, what is it that you are desiring to bring through within the channeled state? Are you looking to channel creativity, or perhaps the ability to dance, or to do a certain skill, or to connect to and embody a certain energy, a certain archetype? Are you wanting to channel psychic information and help people in the spiritual space? Are you wanting to channel your own guidance and connect to your own guides? Whatever it is, state it in the comments below and let's amplify it, amplify the reality of you connecting to that, again, as we get clear on it, as we set the intention, and simply just create the space for it, and again, do the preparation work as well. Then we have access to the channeling state. And with that, may it benefit and uplift and enliven and harmonize and help your life and all who you are connected to. And so it truly is. Thank you for tuning in. Blessings.